Hello and welcome to the Edgar School District. The video you are watching is a part of the training for our Wellness Center. Our beautiful Wellness Center was constructed in 2011 as a part of a referendum that our community passed. This facility has now trained, or this school has now trained over 2,000 people to use this facility. The facility is open from 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. and is open to district residents and to families of students that enroll into our school district. In order to be printed and to participate in the training, you need to be 18 years and older. The facility offers a variety of activities from cardio to machines to free weights. Later in this video, you will see some information on usage of that equipment. Please do not hesitate to ask further questions. You will also note throughout the Wellness Center there are helpful posters and ideas to help you get started on a workout program. And if you look at the machines carefully, there is additional information that shows techniques and shows ideas in terms of completing lifts. As I said, later in the video you will be getting some training from some of our staff members that will show you how to properly use equipment. With any safety program, be sure to, number one, exercise caution, and then to be respectful of fellow patrons. A few things that have come up over the last few years with the usage of the Wellness Center that we certainly need to touch on. First and foremost, be respectful to other patrons. We have over 2,000 people trained to use this facility, and it's critical that we respect everyone. So please, respect others in this area. Understand that if there's a piece of equipment that they're using, you can kindly ask and find out when it may be your turn. But the other important piece is to respect the televisions, and that if other people are there, that we allow them to watch what they had on if they were there before we arrived. In terms of general care of the facility, a few important notes as well. It is critical that we enter the Wellness Center with clean shoes, so please, especially in winter months, bring a clean pair of shoes to change into. There's cubbies outside of the Wellness Center that you can place your dirty, wet shoes in and put a dry, clean pair of shoes on before you come into the facility. We've had incidents in the past where people have come in with shoes that have sand and salt and water on them. This greatly damages our equipment and will prevent us from being able to offer this wonderful facility and these wonderful activities if items are broken or if machines fail prior to when they should have. The other key piece is making sure that you clean up the equipment after you use it. There are wipes and canisters throughout the room. Please be sure to grab a wipe and wipe down your equipment after you use it, because this will help the equipment last much longer. If you're using free weights or dumbbells or other items, please, when you are done, put them back in the racks or put them back where you found them. We would just guess it's kind of like the camper's mentality, leave it better than you found it. When you come into the Wellness Center, please make sure that you help pick up and keep this space beautiful. You will notice that there's a showering facility available for use. This is open to the community as well, and there's also a bathroom area in here. Once again, these are free for you to use, but please be respectful of that area and leave it better than you found it. A few items additionally. I had stated previously that you need to be 18 years old and older to be printed and trained to use this facility. If you do have family members or visitors that are under 18 years old and you have been trained, you can bring them in with you, but please, use good judgment. If it's a child or someone young, they should not be using treadmills or other equipment where they can be hurt. And understand that any visitors are your responsibility as a fingerprint holder. In addition to watching this training video, you will have to sign off on a waiver form saying that you have watched the video and that you understand the risk associated with a workout program and with using our Wellness Center. Following the completion of that document in the video and signing off on that, you will want to pay attention for dates where fingerprinting is available. Our school district will have staff members available as needed to sign or to get you fingerprinted, and then from there you will have access to the Wellness Center. The hours, once again, are 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. and is generally open 7 days a week. Typically, we've closed it down for a couple days each year for extensive cleaning, but beyond that, it is open the remainder of the school year, even when school is not in session. One last critical point. We do want this to be a community facility, and we do want to support residents of the Edgar School District, but please understand this is a part of our school. We will have student athletes. We will have students in physical education and health classes using this facility, So please, if you see these groups of students in there with their teachers, with their coaches, with their advisors, please understand that we are trying to conduct school activities, but if you are comfortable in being in there when the children are in there, you're more than welcome to be there as well. If at any time you notice behavior that does not meet the expectations that are clearly posted throughout the Wellness Center, feel free to call our main district office. The number is 715-352-2352 to report any behavior that you feel does not meet our expectations. We feel that we are extremely fortunate in the community of Edgar to have this beautiful facility, so please, let's all take advantage of it, but let's all respect each other and do our part to keep it clean and to help it last for as long as possible. Thank you very much for your support of the Edgar School District, and go Wildcats.
Hi, and welcome to the Edgar Community Wellness Center online training session. Today we're going to give you a rundown of all the pieces of equipment that you can use in our community fitness center, and we are going to start with our cardio section on the south edge of the fitness center. To start, when you come in the doors, you'll notice that we have 4 treadmills that we can use. What's great about the cardio machines is that the user interfaces for each piece are very similar. They're all made by Precor, so you're going to find it very easy to transition from one machine to the next. So we're going to give you a look at what that user interface looks like, so when you come in here you can get straight to your activities. So on these user interfaces you'll find a quick start button that will essentially start the machine without any program put into it. It'll just start for this use, the treadmill, the track going, and you can get started on your workout. So on this, the quick start is here. It'll give you a 3-second countdown, and the tread is now going. To increase speed, you simply push up on the button and it goes up by 1/10 of a miles per hour at a time. Hold it up if you want it to go a little faster. On the left we have an increase in incline. Again, holding it up increases the incline. Moving it back down brings it to 0. And if you shut the machine off, it'll automatically come back to 0 for you, so you don't have to do that while you're working out. On the top we have a timer. You can see how long you've gone for. The final feature on our Precor interfaces, for the treadmill at least, is the stop button. When you're ready to be done with the workout, simply hit the stop button. I shouldn't say hit, I should say press the stop button. We've had in the past issues where people hit the stop button too hard and it actually gets stuck down at the bottom and we have to have people come out. So be sure just to give it a light press. It's a very easy button. It'll stop your machine. 2 consecutive clicks resets the interface so that the next person can come on and start their workout. Our next piece in the cardio equipment is the Kaiser bike. What's really unique about the Kaiser bike is you can adjust it to any fit of your body. The first thing we need to understand is how the resistance affects the flywheel. With this little lever here, you can adjust the resistance on the flywheel. All the way down is no resistance. The pedals will move very easily. You can adjust it to increase the resistance by simply moving this lever up. All the way up, and you're going to have a pretty difficult time pedaling those pedals. Now, moving on to how we adjust the bike to fit our bodies. There's 3 separate areas that we can adjust this bike. Number 1 is the height of our handlebars. So a simple turn to the left releases the handlebars. We can slide them down or up depending on our height, and that's completely dependent on what's comfortable for you. What's nice also is we have number systems and letter systems on the seat respectively, so that you can remember what your settings are. So if you wanted to come in and quick get on, you can memorize those numbers and get onto the bike right away. Moving back to the seat, to fit it to our bodies, what we typically tell people is if you're standing next to the bike and you put your hand on your hip bone, that's the height of the seat that you want. So for me, this bike is set up at a perfect height, and that letter is J. So next time I come in, I know that J is the setting that I wanted. The only other thing that we can adjust is the depth of the seat, and again, it's a simple turn to the left. To loosen it, we can take the seat back or forward, again, depending completely on your comfort with this machine. Our third piece in the cardio section is the stair-step machine. What's great is this is a Precor machine, so the setup and the user interface is similar to that of the treadmills. When we get on the machine, we can simply hit the quick start button. It'll open up all the operating systems and we start going. This is a unique machine. It's better than your average stair stepper because it doesn't keep us in a fixed plane. Instead, we can adjust our stride length. So I'm going to give you kind of a demonstration. It is a unique piece, and I think seeing what it looks like to operate it will give you a better idea of when you come in the door how to use it. So these handles move as our feet move, but we also have a fixed set of stationary handles that you can hold on to as well. So to get it started, you kind of have to just get your weight on the one side, and that'll put you in. If you want to keep your knees in a fixed plane and just do a basic stair stepper, you can keep it right here. But if you want to open up your stride, do a little bit of a jog, or even an extended jog, you have the opportunity to do that in this machine. So it is very unique. It's a little more advanced than your average stair stepper, but it is unique nonetheless. The fourth piece that we'll find in the cardio section is the ellipticals. We have 4 ellipticals. 2 of them have moving handles. When you get on the machine, you'll notice that the side handles move. But again, like the stair steppers, we do have fixed handles in the middle if you want to have fixed handles. The 2 ellipticals in the middle, they do not have the moving pieces on the outside edges, so you'll have to find a personal preference that you enjoy. The user interface, like I've said a couple times now, is similar to both the treadmills and our stair-stepping machines, so you should be able to get on and easily start using this machine. Our 5th and final piece of equipment in the cardio section are the recumbent bikes. We have 2 recumbent bikes, and the important thing to understand about the recumbent bikes is they are adjustable to your height. The way that we adjust the seat is by pulling the yellow lever on the bottom of the seat up, and we can now slide the seat up and down the track to set our seat height based on our leg length. Our next section in the Wellness Center is the free weight section, where we have a variety of objects for you to complete your workouts. On the far edge we have plyometric boxes, both carpeted and rubber topped. We also have a large selection of dumbbells, ranging from 5 all the way up to 100 pounds in weight. A big part about the dumbbell section that we like to train you on is cleaning up after yourself. When you're done using the equipment, make sure that it gets back to the rack in its proper spot so that the next person coming in can find the weight that they're looking for instead of having to search through it for a little while. Moving on, we have a machine called the glute ham machine. And I will caution you about this piece. If you haven't done an exercise in a while, and you come in and try to do this machine, it's very specific for 2 muscle groups that you're going to be working. Your glutes and your hamstrings on the back of your legs. Now, I don't want you not to try it, but understand that you may be a little sore the following day trying to walk up and down steps or just walking in general. So, what we need to understand how to adjust this machine is adjusting the foot plate so that we can fit into this machine. My number is 5 on the top edge. It is numbered so you can remember what you want to do when you come in the next time you use it. And essentially, you're going to get up onto the machine, put your knees on the knee plates, your feet go between the 2 pads, and your shoes should be resting comfortably on the foot plate. From here, we're going to simply descend our upper body over the rolling pads, come all the way down. I'm going to extend back up where I'm squeezing my glutes, and finish the exercise where I contract my hamstrings. Like I said, if you come in and try this, do a couple reps on it, you're going to feel the muscle groups that you're working, but you may be sore the next day, so be sure that you take it easy on here. The final 2 pieces of equipment we have in the free weight section are the med ball rack and the kettlebell rack. Essentially, you can use these for a variety of exercises. I encourage you to get online, figure out different ways that you can use these to maximize your potential here in the fitness center. In our next segment of the Wellness Center training, we'll be covering the stationary machines. Each machine has its own decal that'll give you the exact idea of what the machine is trying to accomplish and how you can get your body set up on it. So we're going to take a look here at the bicep curl machine. What you'll notice is the name of the machine located on the decal in the upper left-hand corner. The muscle group is highlighted in orange for the muscle group that you're going to be working on the machine. And then you'll find the information needed to get yourself set up. If you had no idea, you'll be able to see the setup, what the exercise looks like, as well as a numbered step-by-step setup of the machine. So, I encourage you to come in and explore all the stationary machines that we have and figure out which machine is working for you. Moving on from the bicep curl machine, we're going to take you down the alley of all the stationary machines. To my right, I have the tricep extension machine. Over to our left, we have a back extension. Follow that up with the abdominal curl machine, as well as on our right-hand side, a seated row machine, focusing on our mid-back muscles. Follow that up with a pull-down, lat pull-down machine, shoulder press, targeting our upper back and shoulders. Then we have a chest press, working on the front sides. We have an inner and outer thigh machine that we're going to stop and take a look at because it has a few complex mechanisms that we want to be sure that you understand. So here at the inner and outer thigh machine, you'll notice that it has two names. For any stationary machine that we have that has two names, it serves for multiple purposes. So what I'm going to show you here is how we can adjust this machine using the orange or yellow, depending on your color palette, levers to fit the machine to your body. So to start, we're going to focus on the inner thigh portion of this machine. To target our inner thigh muscles, we have to lift the pin and take the machine legs out. So from a spread position, we're now going to pull our legs back and we'll feel resistance lifting the weight. So as I take my legs in, I can feel the contraction of my inner thighs, the weight lifts, and I control it back to its starting position. I want to take the time now also to talk about the control of all of these pulley systems. On all the stationary machines that we have, the weights are a pulley machine, and we want to maintain the life of these weights by controlling them back to their starting position so they're not banging on the weights that are down at the bottom. So just be sure that you're controlling the weights both up and back down to its starting position. To focus on our outer thigh machine, we simply move the pads that are located at the knee level, rotate them out so we got a nice cushion pad. We have to pull the pin back up and bring the lever to 0. There's a number system down there. And now we're going to take our legs out, the weight will rise, and I feel a good contraction of my outer thighs and upper glutes. So that is our inner and outer thigh machine. To wrap up our stationary machine section, we want to talk about the portable machines that you've probably seen around the area. These towers serve as both a garbage can and a sanitary wipe dispenser. At the end of each use of each machine, we encourage you to wipe down the machine with these sanitary wipes, as other patrons in the community will be using this fitness center behind you, right after you, a couple hours after. So just make sure that you wipe down the machines thoroughly. We want to wipe down the areas that we were sitting, where our back was resting, any handle that you may have grabbed, even the pins to adjust the weight, and the levers to adjust the machine to fit your body. We encourage cleanliness in the wellness center to help maintain the longevity of its use. Our final segment of the training will be focused on the racks and platforms located on the north end of the fitness center. We're going to cover the platforms first, and I'm not going to talk specifically about lifts, but more about the philosophy behind the platforms. If you're a community patron coming in and there are high school kids in here for their specific sporting programs, you're probably going to be finding them in these two sections of the weight room. That being said, the platforms are meant to allow the weights to be dropped from a hanging position or even from up at their chest. So you may find that it is pretty loud being in here while the athletes are in here. Don't be alarmed by them dropping the weights. They are made of rubber and they're very durable. They're meant to be dropped, as well as our platforms are designed to withstand those forces that are being dropped upon them. As we move over into the racks, I'm going to show you how to adjust the racks. If you're interested in utilizing these, we certainly encourage you to do so, but it's definitely important to understand how to adjust them to fit your body. So we're going to start by moving the bar from the up position, and you'll find that these are the hooks for the barbell to be balanced on. And so essentially to move them we need to lift up and then they slide out. There are numbers on the inside edges of each track. I'm not sure if you can zoom in to see these so that they are set at the same height so that it's level. To do the bench press, we typically have the number between 7 and 9. 9 if you got some pretty short arms, 8 is a pretty good number. So we're going to want to move both to the same number. And that 8 on this side and 8 on this side. We can put the bar back and we're ready for the bench press. The final piece we want to talk about is the adjustable benches. These can be moved into a lot of different shapes in order to facilitate your lifting programs. From an incline seated bench, we can adjust that up, and we can also adjust the back by simply moving the peg down and putting it into the proper slot. We have a pretty steep incline here that you could use for incline dumbbell bench. Not only can they be used for the rack area, but we can also move these benches down to the free weight section, which we covered earlier, to do the workouts that you're doing down there as well. So they're pretty easy to use, just a simple lift and an adjustment to fit it to your body. Now that I've got my bar and bench set to the proper settings for the bench press, I want to make sure that I also talk about the safety bars. For any lift that we're doing in here, we want to make sure that we have a bottom safety gauge in case a lift were to go wrong. To adjust these safety bars for the bench press, we want the safety bars to be at about the same height as our bench, depending on the thickness of your chest. If you're thicker chested, you might want to go up a little bit. And then for the squat, we want to set the safety bars so that we're in a complete squat, that the bar isn't quite touching the safety bars, but it's pretty close in case we need it as a backup. To adjust these safety bars, it's the same way as the hooks for the bar, for the barbell. We simply lift up, push out, and we can adjust it to our setting. Make sure they're matching on both sides from a number standpoint. I'm now going to go into the weight section of each rack. We have a specific area for each weight that we have, starting at 2.5 pounds and going all the way down to 45 pounds. Ideally, when you're done lifting, we ask that you clean up after yourself and make sure that the weights are back in the correct spots. And each rack has enough, we have enough weights in the weight room to have each rack have 2 of each weight at least. So just make sure that the weights are getting back to the correct spot. The final piece, after you put a weight on, I'm going to put a 35 pound on here, we want to make sure that we're also using our safety collars. Now that I've got my weight on the bar, I want to make sure that I'm using proper safety practices. Each rack has 2 safety clips that allow the weight to be put on the bar, and if it were to get off of level, the weight wouldn't slide off because the safety clip is there to stop it. They're spring loaded, so if it's open, it'll slide on. If it's closed, you're not going to be able to get it onto the bar. So make sure it's open, slide it tight to the weight, lock it shut, and you're ready to go. You have now completed the online Wellness Center training session. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact the high school office. And if all else fails, remember to live by these principles in the Wellness Center. Remember to take pride.